Hi crocheters of the world, this is the second part of the lesson top-down cardigan with a v-neck line. First part I uploaded with the yoke, which is the most important part of a top-down. And now we will continue on with the division, the second most important step for a top-down construction. And it's actually the division of the body from the sleeves. So we will just leave out the sleeves and then we will just continue on working the body in length. Then I will show you, explain you actually how to shape it. So to increase, if you need to increase for the circumference, for the hip circumference. And then we will work the sleeves. So I will show you how to work the sleeve, how to begin working in round, how to decrease from the circumference, arm circumference to the wrist circumference. And finally, last but not least, I will show you how to work the border on the front sides and the buttonholes. So it's a complete lesson or guide, and I really hope it will be very useful for you. Now, of course, for this one, I have the written instruction. The written instruction are given with the yarn, if you can buy it from our boutique. So it's this yarn that I use. It's very beautiful. It's really a lovely yarn. Or you can choose the summer version, I say. It's the same 5mm hook. So the same hook, the same measure, same weight of yarn, but this is cotton and this is wool. So there are two different yarns, two different textures, but very beautiful, both of them. One it's, so with this one you can work a overcoat, I can say, kind of overcoat, and with this one you can just work a nice duster, summer duster, really beautiful. Okay, let's get started with the second part. Hope you will enjoy, hope you will find it helpful. So here we have the yoke. Let us work the division row. So for the division row we will work all the stitches as they are until the first chain space, which is the first raglan line. So all the double crochet as they are. We stop into the last double crochet before the first chain one space. And then I will show you what. So I finished all the stitches, worked all the stitches till the chain. Now underarm, this is the sleeve. Underarm we always have to add some chains, which will become some stitches, okay, because you know, we need, maybe not always, but most of the time. So I will just add 2 chains just because. You add as many as you need to have a nice and large, so the circumference of your arm with a nice ease, okay. Don't let it too straight, too tight, because it is good, because this is a cardigan, okay, it's a jacket, let's say. Now we will skip all the stitches, so the chain one space, all the stitches of the sleeve and the other chain one space of the second raglan line, and we will insert hook exactly into the first, yarn over obvious, into the first double crochet of the back side. Because we will work now with the division row, we will begin working in length only the body. So for the body I define both front sides and the back side. Okay, so front and back. These are the arms and will be worked one and the other in a second time. So I will just continue on like this, all the back side, and then on the other side, when I will get to the chain 1 space, I will do exactly the same thing. Finish here, exclude, so let out the sleeve stitches and the chain 1 spaces, both chain 1 spaces, and insert hook into the very first double crochet of the other front side and work all the stitches. Don't forget to put the same number of chains that you decided to put on your first sleeve. Okay, let me finish this dividing row, and then I want to explain you something more about the length, because from here we just work the length of our cardigan. So normally we just go ahead and work in rows, front and back, so both front side and the back side for the length that we want our cardigan to be. But there is something okay, so I finished my first row after the division, so yes, after the division, and I put a marker exactly in between the 2 stitches that I worked on the chain 2 that I added underarm. Okay, it's the marker in between the stitches, so in no stitch, just in between. And the same thing I did here. Now I am working on my second, and normally if I want to work a increase here, I will work it before and after the marker. Okay, so before and after the marker I will put the increase here and underarm here. Now let me just explain you this here. So if you put a even number of chains underarm, okay, even chains, if you put an even number of chains underarm, you will have like this 1 and 1, and here the marker. And this is the rule: in each of your 5th or 7th, so you can begin with in each of your 5th, and if you think it's too much, you can just put an increase in each of your 7th, and you can in any moment just stop increasing. So this is on the sides. Okay, so this is my cardigan ready, so actually the division and all, and now I am talking about the sides. So here I have a circumference, here around the hip I have another circumference, maybe it is larger, so I need to put some increases so I can have it a good shape for myself. And this is the nice part of a handmade apparel, that we can shape it as we like it. We can shape it exactly for our body. Okay, with some decreases and increases, and these are so easy to work. So the rule says in each of your 5th of your or 7th, okay, row you will increase, and which means this is the first, then the second, okay, so this is underarm, 3rd and 4th, okay, this is the marker in between. In your 5th you will just increase here, then the marker, then you will increase here, and then you will continue on 1, 2, 3, okay, 4, and in your 5th again you will put a increase, okay, and this is, you will go on. Go ahead and work like this for 2 times, and you will see it is too much or it is okay like this, the rhythm for the circumference that you want to get. You can stop increasing in each of your moment of your length, so there's no need to worry, okay, so just go ahead and increase, but not less than 5 rows, 5th rows. So in each of your 5th, in each of your 7th, okay, not less, because will be too much increases and the shape will be really ugly. Okay, so this is when you have even chains. When you have odd chains, let's say you put 3 or 5 or I don't know, this will be this one in the middle. This is underarm, of course, the same thing. This is the stitch with the marker, and you will increase in this. 1, 2, 3. This is 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you will increase in this one, you will work this and increase in this one. So you will have, if you have odd number chains, you will have a stitch in between the increases. If you have an even chain number, put an even chain number, you won't have a stitch in between. This is the difference. So we finish with the length. Next part, the sleeves. How to work the sleeve, and again how to how to decrease, because on the sleeve we will have to decrease to create, so to get from the circumference, arm circumference, to the wrist circumference. So let's see how to work the sleeve. It's not difficult, actually it is really easy. There are two important things to tell you. First of all, you will begin, here I have the last row, as you can see it's on the wrong side worked, so it's just perfect because I will begin on the right side. So we have to continue to work as if to work in rows, just because we like to have the same design that we have on the entire cardigan. So I will insert hook into the chain, first chain of the 2 that I have here. I added here underarm. If you have a odd number, you can just put into the second of your 3, or that one in the middle if you have more than 3. And I will just insert hook into that chain, and I can also begin with this kind of beginning double crochet, let's say. It's like this. I have the knot and yarn over, insert the hook, pull up a loop, pull through 2 and pull through 2, and now I have a perfect double crochet here. Now here it is the very first stitch of the total of the stitches that I had on the yoke. Here is the chain, and this is a distance between the first here and the stitches that I have on the I worked on the yoke. So I need to put add some more stitches. So here into the first stitch here, I don't know, it's a little bit strange. You can just put 1 double crochet, and maybe yes, I need 1 more before the chain 1 space, and I will work into the chain 1 space 1 more. So the idea is that you need to fill with some double crochets this gap, because, and just go ahead and put as many as you need. Of course, don't exaggerate. Put as many as you need, because we will just decrease them. So don't worry about, the important thing is to have a nice and smooth work here underarm without ugly gaps or holes or spaces. Okay, so now I will just insert hook into the very first stitch of the stitches that I have from the yoke and work them all. On the other side I will do exactly the same thing. So the idea is that you need to put exactly the same number of stitches that you put on this side. So I added 3 stitches, so I will add 3 stitches, on the other side 2, and then I will work my last of the 2 stitches. I began with the first one, the 2 stitches on the chains, the 2 chains that I added underarm, you know, when I divided. So I am at the end, as you can see, into the chain 1 space I put 1 double crochet plus 2 more here in this distance, to cover this distance to the last chain where I work my last double crochet. And still I have a ugly gap, so I need to play around a little bit with this stitch and to find a good position for it so I can cover the gaps. Okay, so this is very, very, very important. I think I did it more or less. Okay, and of course slip stitch into the first double crochet to join. This is my very first row. It is important to work well the very first row so you won't have problems. So from the second row I will slip stitch to join at the end, and from the second row we need to turn as if we work in rows to obtain the same design of the stitches, because if we just go ahead and work in round, we won't have the same design and we need it. Okay, and to do this I will chain 3, just chain 3 and turn. Now if you have a even number as I have, this chain 3, it's, let's say, a increase, because we will work into the first and into the last stitch. Okay, so you can consider it a increase. Well, sorry, I don't know how many stitches I have here, but I think, okay, I don't complete into the chain. Yes, I forgot to complete the last stitch. Okay, sorry, my fault. Okay, so chain 3, and we will work into this and into this, but chain 3 and turn. Work into the very first stitch, your first double crochet, and go ahead and work all over, all around, all along your double crochets, and at the end we will work into this one too. So the chain 3 will be, let's say, the vertical line that we will have for our sleeve. If you have, so if you added underarm odd number of stitches, then you have it, that stitch in the middle, so you don't need to add one more. You will just begin with the chain 3 into that stitch in the middle. So if you have 3, it's the second. If you have 5, it's the third. Okay, and you will keep that stitch as the stitch in the middle. Okay, let me tell you about the decreases. So we will always decrease before this chain 3, so these 2 stitches, and after this chain 3. So this chain 3 we will always remain there, and we will decrease before and after. Okay, now how many times you need to decrease? Now this is up to you. You will decrease as many times as you need to get the right circumference for the wrist, because here we have the circumference for the arm. Okay, now usually you will decrease each 5th or 6th round, sorry, okay, double decrease, as I said before, and after a chain 3. So each of your 5th or 6th round. But you also can, from the body, you will just count, I don't know, 5 rows and measure them, and then you will measure your arm, so you will know approximately how many rows you need to complete for your arm. So you can just know where to put the decreases, so how many stitches you need to decrease. Okay, because you can just insert, this is very, very tight, of course, very small circumference. You can just insert your hand and to see excluded actually the stitches to have the circumference for the wrist, so you will know how many stitches you need to decrease. Okay, it's a little bit complicated, but anyway, I just tell you, maybe you understand how, and it's really, if you have a little bit of experience, will be really, really easy for you to understand what am I talking about. Okay, so this is my, let's say, my idea. I used to work like this because it's really, really easy. Okay, Anyway, in each of your 5th or 6th round you will decrease. Don't forget to turn to begin another round always, and always into the chain 3. That will be your first stitch always. Okay, and what else? Let me think. Yes, that would be all. Now, the last but not least is the border on the last front. But not least, the border here around. Now, because on the adult size, it's a nice and long border, I work first a half and then the other half. You can just work it all in one, but for me it's easier like this. So with the right side facing you, exactly as I put it, I put mine on the backside chains. I put 12 so I can count them, but you can also don't count, just begin somewhere in the middle. Okay, there's no need to count or anyway. Yarn over, and I will work for this particular pattern. I worked actually the border with the half double crochet, not with a elastic stitch. So I will just continue on working like this in each chain all around, and I don't work into the chain 1 space, so just keep the 2 chain 1 space that you have here, and when you reach, just let me finish this side, so just go ahead and work in any each chain, but so I work the chain. All my stitches here. This is what I have. This is the border that I have for now. And let me tell you about these markers. So if you want to have a nice V-neck, very underlined, let's say, not soft, you can put into the stitch, exactly into the stitch, just in this row, okay, a increase. So you insert hook into the stitch, work 1, 2, maybe 3 if you want to. So usually I put 3, but you can put only 2, or you don't need to do it. If you want the line to be more, I don't know, to be soft, I can say. Okay, actually for this pattern, particular pattern, I didn't work this increase. Okay, I just go ahead and work like this. So you can continue on as nothing happened, or you can put this increase with 2 stitches or 3 stitches. But even if you decide to put the increase only into this first row of the border, you will do it. Okay, so I will just go ahead like this without any increase. It's only that I wanted to tell you that there is this version too, so you can use it. And at the end I will turn with a chain 1 space, so chain 1 to turn, sorry, not space. Okay, so as you can see, this is my last one. Now into the last I will try to work, this is a chain 3 into the stitch, so I will have like this. Okay, now chain 1 and turn. The only thing that I want to turn, and you will work back loop only, like this, back loop only. This is the only thing that I thought to do for this border, for this particular border. You can work with the double crochet, back and front double crochet, front post, back post, front post, double crochet, the normal border, but you can also use it like this, so it's nice. I think it's pretty nice. Okay, this is the second. You will work as many as you need. This is the left side, which is the side with the buttons if you work it for a woman, for yourself, for a woman, not for a man, because for the man, you know, is the here you would have to put the buttonholes. Okay, so I will go ahead and work this, and I want to show you something very important. So what I want to tell you, this is a very important thing, is that here on the side, so where you are on the, sorry, I went on a little bit too much, when you are on the part of the chains, so from the first raglan line to the middle, you will put 3 decreases. So I will begin with 1, this is, and insert hook into the next, pull up a loop. You will have 4 loops on the hook that you will just go ahead and close them together. And now I will work 1 more. So here I have a few number of stitches, but on a normal cardigan I have much more, and this will be the last, much more number of stitches, so 3 decreases. Okay, and of course on the other side when we will work it will be exactly the same, like this. Okay, so now we will have a nice border. Okay, and you can just continue on and work as many rows as you want. When you come back, you will work back loop only, so front and back. So you will have this nice design here with the loops remaining unworked. Can you see? Okay, this is one side and this is the left side. So for a woman design, you want on the left side is you will just sew the buttons. For a man will be the side with the buttonholes, this side. Okay, it comes like this. And on the other side, now I will show you how to work the buttonholes. So let's see on the other side. So as I said, if you want to begin as I began, from the middle in the on the wrong side, on the back side, you will begin now the second part. You will begin now on the bottom. Okay, because if you begin here, you will need to work from the wrong side, and this is not good. We need to work from the right side, even the other half of the border. Okay, so that's why we will begin it here. Again, insert hook directly. I will begin with this kind of I really don't remember the name of half double crochet, the beginning half double crochet. This is the stitch I will insert hook in, so not around but into the stitch, just the very first. Okay, I have 3 loops on the hook, yarn or pull through all. Okay, and around the stitch work the second. From here just go ahead and work around the stitch, just the first one, because like this we have a perfect smooth border. Okay, I will just go ahead and work, and the rest is exactly the same. The only thing that I want to show you here is the buttonholes. Now for the buttonholes, I highly recommend you that you already have the button. So choose the button because buttons, because we need to try it. Okay, so let's suppose that I won't go to the end, because you just need to go to the end here until the last stitch that is left unworked, and just go ahead and go up and down, and at the end you will just sew together these 2 parts. Okay, really easy and invisible sew. Now what I want to show you is exactly the buttonhole, how to make it. First of all, I said choose the buttons. Let's consider, I will chain 1 and turn. Let's consider this is the row where you have to work the buttons. So I will, you need a algorithm, let's say. So let's suppose that chain 2 I will skip 2. So to make the buttonhole, you will chain and skip stitches. The rule is that you will chain as many stitches as you will chain as many chains as the stitches skipped are. Okay, so I chained 2, I skipped 2 stitches, insert hook into the next, and go ahead and work. Now you will work the same number of stitches in between the holes. So let's say I work 3 and then chain 2, skip 2 stitches and work 3 like this, and chain 2, skip 2 stitches and like this. Okay, now if you think when you just work the very first, please, this is my advice, just try the bottom, because maybe it's too large or too straight. If it's too large, just reduce it. Let's work 1 chain and skip just 1 stitch. Okay, like this. So you can work it as large or as short as you want it, or as small as you want it. Okay, so that would be all. Don't forget to make the same increases, the same decreases that you did. Now for the decreases, there is something that I want to tell you. Now of course here maybe some of you are really experienced at advanced crocheters, so I need, if you want to share with me and with the other followers of my channel, maybe your method, maybe you have other method, because there are so many. These are my method, and I just wanted to teach to the other how I am working the top down. Top down construction is the easiest, I guess. I think is the easiest way to crochet a pullover, or to crochet or knit a pullover, because as you can see, the yoke is all in one. You work the sleeves, you work everything else, and it's just very easy to try it on as you work. So the bottom up pullover is a little bit more difficult, because it is a little bit difficult to try it on. So you will try it only when it is finished, and that's why it's a little bit more difficult. It's maybe easy for someone who is really advanced, but the top down, it's really easy. So you can just give it a try. Of course, there is a written instruction on our boutique. If you want to purchase the yarn, this yarn that I worked with, it's a beautiful yarn. Don't forget that the shipping is only for Europe, and that's it. It's about the cost, nothing else of the shipping. That's why it's like this. I hope you really enjoy. I hope I really helped you with this. Was really helpful. Now what I want to tell you more is that I work with the same crochet hook. As you can see, I didn't change the measure, but some crocheters work with a smaller measure, the border, and maybe they don't do this kind of decreases exactly on the neckline. I always put these decreases, because if I don't, it's really ugly, it's not nice, it's not comfortable. So I think that when we do a apparel for us or for whom we want to, it must be beautiful, but it must be really comfortable too. So fancy and comfortable, okay, this is the idea. So this is fancy, it is also comfortable. It is fancy because of the yarn, because the rest is only double crochet. It's a design that I really, really adore, because it's so easy, so comfortable, and so fancy. Please subscribe to my channel if you like what you see. If you think my tutorials are, I don't know, teaching you something new, if you like my designs, if you like my explanations, and don't forget to share these tutorials on other socials, on Facebook, on Twitter, anywhere, just because like this you help me a lot, and for you it's just nothing. So like my tutorials and just leave me a nice comment, even if I don't answer to the comments or only some of them. I always read them all, but I don't have time to answer to all of you, so thank you for all of your beautiful words. See you at the next tutorial. Bye bye.